Dorothy Parker did this review of a book of mine called Gentleman Junkie and Other Stories. When I met her, a little 50-cent paperback. God knows how she came by. She just raved about it. Well, Dorothy Parker. Dude, Dorothy Parker. We're not talking her Gardner Dozois. I mean, okay, Adam Troy Castro likes my work. Terrific. Dorothy fucking Parker we're talking here. And the minute I saw that review, I went crazy. And I said, I'm okay, I'm a writer. Years, not too many years later, maybe 1 or 2 years later, I'm out in Hollywood, and somebody says to me, would you like to meet Dorothy Parker? Marlon Spike driven through the left side of my head, meet Dorothy Parker. Oh yeah, no contest. And they set it up so that I could meet Dorothy Parker. And I was destined to. When I got to Hollywood, this is not one of those Horatio stories, it was flat truth. I had exactly 10 cents in my pocket. I was traveling with my second wife, we were about to get divorced, and we got into town, and I moved into a travel lodge on Vine Street because I saw the Capitol Tower when I was in Hollywood. And I was eking out existence, and I was living in a very small tree house in Beverly Glen. And they set up that I should go meet Dorothy Parker on a Sunday afternoon. And I was so skinny and so little, I was under 90 pounds. 135 is about my proper weight. I'm 190 now, and it's not good. As you can see, I can't get my fat ass up on the stage. But I weigh about 90 pounds, and I was so embarrassed that my pants flapped against my ass like an old man in the street that I had to keep my jacket up. It was in the middle of the summer, it was hotter than hell, and this was the one suit I owned. And she and her husband, Alan Campbell, the famous dramatist and film writer, lived on Norma Place, which was named after the great movie actress Norma Talmadge. It was a street named after her. And they had a cottage, and it was covered with ivy, and it was one of those wonderful little neighborhoods that was been preserved from the early Hollywood days. And I came in, and Dorothy Parker received me absolutely marvelous. She looked a lot like you at that point. She had gray hair, and she was the dearest woman in the world. She had a barbed tongue when she did reviews. She was known for cutting nobody any slack at all. But you know who else was at that afternoon? Was Christopher Isherwood. Was Don McCarty, the artist, who was Christopher Isherwood's lover, and Alan Campbell, and Ben Hecht, and 2 or 3 more. I mean, just, Lord, kill me now. And she and I sat in the living room on the sofa for the longest while, and I thought, she won't remember who I am because she had done the review maybe 6 months, a year earlier. Not only did she remember the review, she remembered the goddamn story in the book and quoted back to me lines. She had an absolutely astonishing memory, which if it was not completely eidetic, was at least telephonic, because she could remember hearing herself reading these things aloud. And she talked to me on this, and I was just wowed by her and knocked out. This woman was my idol, and was one of the finest writers America ever produced. And at the end of the afternoon, as the shadows lengthened and we gave a series of gloom, and I knew they were going to go have dinner somewhere or do something I didn't want to intrude, she insisted I call her Dorothy by that time, and I fell back into Miss Parker. I said, Miss Parker, could I be an absolute doofus and ask you to sign a book of mine? And she said, no problem. And I went out to the car, because I left it, I wouldn't bring it in. It was the Modern Library, the little edition of the collected stories of Dorothy Parker. It was the first Dorothy Parker in the Modern Library, it was small. And I brought it in, and she signed it at great length. And I was using as a bookmark a little puppet of Pinocchio. And she played with the head of the little puppet for a while. And she said that you're a very sweet young man. And I said, thank you. And I went away. It was not until I got home to the treehouse. And I got the book to this day. If you ever come to the house, yeah, I was just seeing. She had written in it, to Harlan Ellison, I wish I was as good a writer as you are. Hello, Hermione, I think I'm about to take the vapors. It's a good thing I didn't infarct on the spot. It was at that moment I knew I was an icon.